I want to welcome everybody and thank you for being here, and I want to especially welcome Mitch. This is an important event, and typically we do our senior athlete recognition at a really large venue with about 150, 200 people. We have all of our senior student athletes there. We recognize them and we induct our Hall of Fame class. But when I was thinking about this, one, I was concerned that we wouldn't be able to do it in person at all. So I'm grateful that we can at least be here in person doing this. But it's also not the venue that's important. The venue doesn't matter. What's important is that we take the time, in this case, to recognize Mitch and recognize him for his achievement and recognize him for the fact that he completed the journey. And it's not an easy journey. And anyone who completes it, and anyone who can say they graduated as a student athlete, we owe them our time, and we owe them the time to recognize them and to thank them for what they've done. Not only for Muskingum men's basketball, but for the athletic department and for the university. And so that's why we're here, guys. We're here to honor his story. You guys know this, and Mitch, you can attest to this. I know your coaches can, I know I can, because we're all student athletes. Being a college student athlete is a little bit like an emotional roller coaster. I mean, there's days when you get up and you're like, man, why am I doing this? And do I really want to do this? And there's days when you're dragging going to practice, right? But then there's other days when you just love being around your teammates and you love being around practice and you appreciate so much the love and support your coaches show, right? But it's tough. Not every day is easy. Not every day is easy. And there's so often, just due to the nature of my job, people will find out what I do and they'll say, oh, I played college athletics. And then I'll ask them about it and they'll say, well, I played a year and I quit. Or I played 2 years and it just wasn't for me. And I'm like, that's a really crummy story to tell. You know? That's a really crummy story to tell. So the great thing is, Mitch can tell his story with a ton of pride. People aren't going to necessarily say, hey, how many minutes did you play, Mitch? Or how many points did you score, Mitch? I mean, you might get in at some point, but probably not. But Mitch's story is going to be, yeah, I was a college student athlete, and I graduated as a student athlete. I found a way, and I had enough grit and persistence and determination and tenacity that I persevered through 4 years of being a student athlete. I did it, and I graduated. That's a great story. That's a great story. And so, Mitch, I thank you for that. The university thanks you. The athletic department thanks you. What you've done is an incredible accomplishment, and one that you should feel incredibly proud to tell others for a lifetime. And the lessons that Mitch has learned and that you're learning right now as you work with your coaches are lessons and skills and traits that will transcend time. There'll be things that you'll lean on in your personal life and your professional life forever. So there's things that you just walk away with that are just so invaluable to you as a human being. And someday as a father, or someday as a husband, or someday as whatever job you're doing. These are all things that you're going to lean on and are going to be incredibly valuable to you. Right? And so Mitch is walking away with all those as well. So I also want to tell Mitch, hey, stay engaged with Muskingum. Don't feel like because you're graduating that you shouldn't stay engaged with the institution. Whether it's the university, the athletic department, you're always welcome back with open arms. So, and we thank you so much, and we thank all you guys because it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year. We've had to navigate some things that we hope we don't have to navigate again. There's been a lot of uncertainty, a lot of ambiguity, and you guys have managed to thrive despite all of it. And you're sitting right here accomplishing the goal that coach, when he recruited you, talked about. I want you to graduate from Muskingum University. And here we are, graduating as a student athlete, basketball player from Muskingum.
Mitch Clark is graduating here, and Steve mentioned a little bit. There's such a small percentage of people that can say they played college sports for 4 years. You should take a lot of pride in that. But even more than that, Mitch, when I recruited you way back, and we talked a couple times a week about the Indians and the Cavs and the Browns all those times, you know, I asked you, hey, would you come to Muskingum and over your 4 years here leave this program in a better spot than you found it? And I think when we ask ourselves, is this program in a better spot than you found it, Mitch? The answer is resoundingly yes. And for that, you should take tremendous pride. Mitch has had, and you know, I wrote a little speech here all right, but I'm gonna screw up, okay? Mitch, your time here, we've had a lot of ups and downs. You have just demonstrated tremendous commitment and tremendous toughness. All right, you guys sitting in the back there don't know the pain that Mitch has been in for years. And a lesser man would have given up years ago, not because you didn't love it, but because of the pain that you were physically in. For your toughness and your commitment to this program, I thank you. And, you know, Mitch, this is, I think we all can attest to his leadership abilities too. All right, especially this past year where he was thrust into a leadership position. He grabbed a hold of it and really led this team. So he's an example for all you underclassmen of what commitment looks like, what toughness looks like, and this guy's a Muskie through and through. It started probably from the day you were born, but you know what? You finished the journey, and for that, couldn't be more proud of you. Can't thank you enough. And when it all boils down to it, Mitch, I love you, and this is just the start of our relationship.